Hi guys, welcome to a review of Hobbit 2, Desolation of Smaug. So, I saw the first one and I made a review of that. I don't know if you've seen the review of that, but I thought, but in case you didn't, I'm gonna sum it up. I thought the movie was good, but I don't know if I said this in my initial review, but looking back on it, uh, the, basically there are two common complaints with it that I've heard. The first movie, A, it didn't need to be a movie. Like, they could have just made the Hobbit series one movie, which is the main complaint. And two, lots of pointless filler, which kind of goes in line with that other one. And I can see what they mean. I think the stuff in the Hobbit could have been condensed and shortened. The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, the first one, into maybe like an hour or even half an hour running time. This and that's made especially apparent by this second one, which I feel has more going on. More happens in that movie. More happens in like an hour of that movie than happens in the whole first movie. Barely anything happens in the first movie, whereas the second one there's lots of new characters. I don't know. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy was kind of structured that way too, I guess, but yeah, there was a lot of filler in the original. Not very much filler in the second one, but there was some. And that's one of the reasons that the second one blows the first one out of the water completely. Desolation of Smaug is way better than an unexpected journey. More happens. There are more characters, more action, less goofy dwarf singing, and just overall betterness. The only thing that I'm worried, the only thing that kind of dragged on in that movie was the final fight with Smaug, which spoilers, ended nowhere. Like, ended on a cliffhanger for the next movie. After probably half an hour of them battling him and Bilbo talking to him. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The dragon talks, which is kind of cool, but was also kind of annoying because he spent so much time making these pointless statements like, my wings are like a hurricane, my teeth are swords, my claws, these overdramatic power statements to intimidate his foes, while not actually doing very much attacking. Like, seriously, he wakes up, and they spend probably about 10 minutes, him and Bilbo, just talking. And him getting dangerously close to attacking, but never actually attacking, just being like, you are a liar, no, I'm a dragon, I smell you, I'm evil, roar, roar, I'm so scary. And then I am fire, I am death. And even when the battle starts, he's still doing that. Like, you cannot escape me. You can run, but you cannot hide. Roar, 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 roar. Kind of thing, which was kind of got annoying after a while. I was starting to fall asleep during the battle part because it was during with Smaug because it was kind of boring. But the rest of the movie was really good, except for there was this one scene with one of the dwarves falls in love with this elf lady, sort of, and there's this one scene where they're just talking for like 10 minutes, and it's the kind of stuff where you don't even know what they're talking about. I'm laying in a bed because the bed's warm, and that scene got so boring after a while. I'm just like, oh my god, I was partway through the scene, I'm like, I've never been more bored in a movie before. Just get on with it. But other than that, it was fine. There was some cool plot twist. My worry is that there's not much left for the third movie. I mean, there's enough to make another movie, but I feel like what I said about the first movie, where everything that happened in it could be condensed down to an hour or maybe half an hour running time. I feel like the third movie's gonna end up being that way too, where like where like not much happens, but it's stretched out into a 3 hour running time. Sorry, you can't see my fingers. And then we'll end up with a trilogy where the first movie is a stretched out 1 hour movie stretched out into a 3 hour movie. The second movie's a full 3 hour movie where lots of stuff happens, And the last movie's a 1 hour, half an hour type thing stretched out into 3 hours, like the first one. Which is kind of a weird way to structure it, but I'm sure it'll still be good. Overall, I give The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug a 8 out of 10. Arrivederci!